It's a pain in the ass to own a custom motorcycle in Singapore, but with all of the restrictions to customizing your motorcycle. And also, if you want to own a vintage motorcycle, an old bike, like an old CB750, with all the restrictions that come with the vintage plate and also all the restrictions that come with wanting to customize your motorcycle, the word that you will keep running into to own a custom bike in Singapore is restriction. That's where this Royal Enfield Continental 650 GT comes in. Perfectly made for the city, a cafe racer straight out of the factory. And honestly, out of all the stock tanks I've ever seen on factory cafe bikes, this is the nicest one. Or this is my favorite kind of tank. Like slim over here and then like flaring out a little bit. Before the 650 GT released, my favorite tank on a bike, I know it's a very weird and niche thing to have a favorite tank on a bike, but before the 650 GT released, my favorite tank was the V7 Stone. Oh my god, look at this view. Oh my god, this is why I love riding, man. This is awesome. Look at this. At this bike. If you guys haven't seen our video on whether you need to own a Class 2 motorcycle in Singapore, Amos covers some pretty important points, especially on how heavy the bike is. And thank you to all of you guys who have commented on the video. And as a lot of you have pointed out, a mid-sized motorcycle is pretty much best for the city. And that is what this bike is. I've actually been dying to ride this bike for quite a while now. As a fellow riding kaki, Adil, we passed our Class 2A at the same time, and we passed our Class 2 at the same time, same test. And after I got my Class 2, I got the XSR 900, and he got himself a 650 GT. Always thought that this bike looked absolutely beautiful, but I was thrown off by the 650cc's. Well, like, why would I get a Class 2 license just to ride a 650cc machine? It is definitely a little bit strange jumping onto this bike for the first time because my sitting position was a little bit more forward and my knees would hit the fins on the engine right here, you see? Luckily, there's a little guard that prevents you from like full-on gripping the engine, which is good, I guess, but it still gets pretty freaking hot. You know that saying, it's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than it is to ride a fast bike slow? I think that applies here. What I mean is that you can rev it up all the way in first gear and you won't be going over the speed limit. Well, you would if you like hold on long enough, but you know. Even after riding it for a week, the 650 GT is still a little bit of a mystery to me. The bars are not as comfortable as it is on the Triumph Thruxton. The power isn't really there, the sound isn't really there. Riding position, comfort, it's not really there. I don't know if it's the condition of this demo bike unit, but the throttle feels heavy. I don't know how else I can describe it. Like heavy, like sluggish heavy. Full throttle and then it's slow. It doesn't snap back. That's a bit strange. This 650 GT in particular does not feel like a brand new bike. It doesn't feel like a bike that only has 5,000 kilometers on it. It feels old. It feels like an old vintage bike. My shoulders are killing me. There is one saving grace to the sound of this bike though. There is this whine on the intake. It doesn't quite sound like a turbo spooling up, but you can hear the intake sucking in air, and it's quite something. I was wondering what the heck that was when I first heard it, and then I realized it was the intake, and boy. Welcome back to the $1 million question. Our contestant has made it all the way here to the final question. Mr. Happy Uncle, are you ready for the $1 million question?
Of course!
This question is to test your knowledge on motorcycle insurance policies. Here we go. Which of the following are available in DirectAsia's motorcycle insurance policies? A. Any rider optional benefit that protects any unnamed authorized and qualified rider sharing your bike. B. NCD 30 for 10% more savings. C. Customizable coverage so you only pay for what you need. Or D. All of the above.
D! D! Final answer, D!
And you are right. Congratulations!
Haha, you all think I was wrong, right? But no. I also know that DirectAsia is giving away free vouchers when you sign up for a new motorcycle insurance policy. Good right? Go check it out.
Experience two-wheel freedom with DirectAsia. Use promo code VERYOK30 at checkout for a $30 eCapita voucher or VERYOK60 for a $60 eCapita voucher. Head on down to directasia.com/333 for more information. Thank you to DirectAsia for making this video possible. What I said at the start of this video about owning a custom bike and a vintage bike, well, I think that's exactly where this 650 GT sits. The bike feels old, but it's new, and the bike comes custom right out of the factory. And straight out you get all the fittings of a traditional cafe racer. You have your wire spoke wheels, you have that flat seat line and tank line, you have your seat cowl, clip-ons, what else? It looks the part. And it has been an enjoyable bike to ride. It's not fast, it's easy to ride, but it doesn't make sense to me. And this is a 650cc Class 2 machine in Singapore. I can think of one Class 2A machine that's 400cc that actually has more horsepower than this. The Enfield 650 GT has 47 horsepower. That 400cc bike has 52, although it has less torque, about 10 Newton meters less torque than the 650. But for a 650cc machine to be comparable to a 400cc, why? Of course, the bike I'm talking about is a Honda CB400, but the thing is, that's not a cafe bike. There have been people who have made it into beautiful cafe machines, but with annual or biannual inspections, having to revert it back to stock to pass inspection is not really feasible, good, plus it's not legal. I mean, this is a bike that you can pretty much keep stock and be completely happy with how it looks. But maybe that's why it's not for me. Maybe I just gotta ride it a little bit more. Who knows? A lot of the reasons why you buy a Class 2 machine comes down to how much you love that bike. And if you are looking to get a 650 GT, you're not going to be caring about how much horsepower it produces, how much torque it produces. Because honestly, if you're looking at factory cafe bikes and are more than 500, 600 cc's, what do you have? You have this and the Triumph Thruxton, which is now out of production. And even though initially I didn't really like how it feels to ride this bike, I can't help but smile every single time I get on the bike and ride it. Like, everything about this bike feels so analog and bare bones. The dash, pretty much bare bones. You don't get riding modes. The throttle feels analog as heck. They have all the fittings, chrome included, of all the old parts. I'm actually really looking forward to this cafe that we're going to today. It's been recommended to me by a friend. Says that I would love it, both the interior and also the food. So I would say I have pretty high expectations for it. Plus the ride-up is really nice. The Coastal Settlement is an eatery set in a building that was known as Block 20, a building used by the Royal Air Force in the 1950s. The website states that it's basically a museum filled with retro memorabilia, and they did not disappoint, especially with the shelves of vintage Vespas on display. The prices weren't exactly cheap, but oh my god, the food! This is truffle mayo. Oh, so good. Worth it. The fries is perfectly crispy on the outside, and the potatoes on the inside are light, fluffy. It smells so good. Coffee's pretty good. Nothing extremely special, but pretty good. Oh my god, this is the main deal. It looks so good. This egg is so good. Lovely bite. Oh my god, this is so good. There's some lovely cherry tomatoes here. It's sweet. It's so sweet. What the heck? Sweet, juicy, so refreshing. It's like a grape. It's so good. 10 out of 10. I would recommend this place. You guys have to try come to this place. The music, the decor, the food. Oh my god. I'm so full. Whew. If you guys ever want to have a nice longer ride in Singapore coming up to a nice location, definitely come check this place out. But just so you guys know, none of these videos are sponsored by the restaurants or by the bike companies, which is why we'd like to give a huge shout out to DirectAsia for sponsoring our videos, because they allow us to continue bringing good content to you guys. We're almost at 22,000 subscribers now. Thank you guys so much for always watching our videos and leaving comments. It really helps the channel out a lot. Let us know what you guys want to see more of, or if you have any other suggestions that you want us to check out. With that, I'm Jake, and we'll see you on the road.